Good day, dear students. In today's video lecture, you will be listening to two methods of teaching English language, that is grammar translation method and bilingual method. At the end of this lecture, you will be able to define what a method is, describe grammar translation method. You will be able to state the principles of grammar translation method, analyze the merits and demerits of grammar translation method, define bilingual method, list objectives of bilingual method, and you will also be able to state the aims of bilingual method, identify the principles of bilingual method, focus on the procedure of bilingual method, compare bilingual method and traditional method, that is grammar translation method, and also analyze the merits and demerits of bilingual method. So now let us see what is a method. A method determines what and how much is taught, the order in which it is taught, how the meaning and form are conveyed, and what is done to make the use of language unconscious. This is according to W.F. Mackay. Mackay says that in teaching English language, when you are using a method, you must know what and how much is taught, that is selecting a concept. Then the order in which it is taught, that is grading. How the meaning and form are conveyed, that is how you are going to present it. And what is done to make the use of language unconscious, how you are going to make the students speak language easily by giving practice or repetition. So this definition contains four things, that is selection, gradation, presentation and repetition. So this is a method. Now let's see what is grammar translation method. Grammar translation method is also called as the translation method. From the mere term itself, you can say that it is translating from one language to another. So, from what language will it be translated? Since you are going to teach English language, which is a second language and is a foreign language to our Indian students, you will be translating this English language into their mother tongue. This method is the oldest method. Mother tongue is maintained as the reference system in learning the target language. The target language is nothing but the English language. So, English is taught through the mother tongue. So, in grammar translation method, English is taught through mother tongue. In this method, there are three principles, and the three principles are: the translation interprets the words and phrases of the foreign language in the best possible manner. So, based on this first principle, in the grammar translation method, the words and the phrases which are there in the English language is translated into the respective mother tongue language. Then the second principle is that the foreign phraseology is best learnt in this process of interpretation. Here, when the interpretation is happening or the translation is happening, the students will be able to learn the foreign phrases, that is the English phrases, in the best possible manner. And the third principle is that the structures of the foreign language are best learnt when compared and contrasted with those of the mother tongue. This is the third principle. So, when the language is taught, English language is taught, when it is compared and contrasted with the mother tongue, it is said that the students learn much better. So, based on these three principles, the grammar translation method has been framed. Now let us see what is the teaching process in the grammar translation method. While teaching, the teacher translates every word, phrase and sentence from English into the mother tongue. So translation is happening at every stage, that is every word, phrase and the sentence in English is translated into mother tongue. Then the students are required to translate sentences from their mother tongue into English. So the teacher translates the English language into mother tongue, and the students in return they translate the sentences that they understand from their mother tongue into English. And the emphasis is given on the study of grammar, which is taught deductively. Deductively means that is first teaching the rules and then going on into the examples. So emphasis is given on grammar teaching, which is taught deductively. The structures of the foreign language are compared and contrasted with those of the mother tongue. So remember, during this process of grammar translation method of teaching, the structures of the foreign language are compared and contrasted with those of the mother tongue. So this is the teaching process that happens when the teacher is using grammar translation method to teach English language. Let us see what are the advantages of the grammar translation method. The advantages are that foreign phrases are quickly explained by the teacher using the translation method, that is by bringing in the mother tongue. Then there is rapid expansion in the vocabulary of the pupils. So when the teacher is translating the words or the phrases into their mother tongue, the students are able to learn more vocabulary. Here the teacher's labor is saved. It makes use of the child's knowledge of his mother tongue, and the comprehension is easily tested. So the students are able to comprehend more easily and it can be tested easily. So these are the advantages of the grammar translation method. Then the next we shall see about the disadvantages of the grammar translation method. So what are the demerits? It is an unnatural method. Why? Because when translating from the mother tongue to the English language or from the English language to the mother tongue, it is not an easy process. It is not a natural process. Hence, this method is an unnatural method. Here, speech is neglected. As the teachers translate them and as the students translate back into English, what is happening? Importance is not given to spoken language. Hence, speech is neglected. It does not provide pattern practice. So, practice is not at all given here. Exact translation is not possible. So, certain words cannot be translated exactly into their mother tongue. So, exact translation is not possible. It encourages literal translation. So, that is the problem wherein which the students find it difficult to speak in English, as it encourages literal translation. It teaches English by rules. So, we saw that grammar is taught deductively. So, first rules are taught and then only they go on to teaching the examples. So, it is taught by rules and it is not interesting at all. If English is taught by rules, will that be interesting? It will not be interesting. So, these are the disadvantages of the grammar translation method. Now, let's see about the bilingual method. So, what does bilingual method mean? This bilingual method was proposed by C.J. Dodson Wales. It was proposed to evolve an effective second language teaching. Second language here means English language teaching. So, C.J. Dodson proposed this method, that is bilingual method, to bring about an effective English language teaching. Bilingual means two languages, that is mother tongue and target language. Here target language is the English language. So both mother tongue and English language are used in this method. Mother tongue is used to achieve the English language. In the previous method, that is grammar translation method, we saw that mother tongue is used there, but how it is used? It is translated literally. But here we are going to see how mother tongue and target language, that is English language, both go hand in hand in teaching the English language. The teaching process. In this teaching process, what is happening is that mother tongue is used to make the meanings of difficult English words, phrases, idioms, sentence structure and grammatical rules. English words, phrases, idioms, sentence structure and grammatical rules are translated into mother tongue. And then this method is based on the similarities and differences existing between the two languages. The two languages is mother tongue and English language. So here the teacher tries to bring about the similarities and the differences between the two languages while teaching. Similarities and differences may be of situation, sounds, vocabulary, etc. And during the teaching of English language, it begins with bilingual and ends in monolingual, that is English. So what happens is that when the teacher is teaching English language to the students, the teacher tries to explain the concept to the students bilingually, and the students end up in bringing out the concept in a monolingual manner, that is only in English. Let us see what are the objectives of the bilingual method. In the bilingual method, it helps the learners to speak English fluently and accurately. It also helps the learners to write English accurately in the later stage. It also helps the learners achieve learning of English through bilingualism. So these are the objectives of the bilingual method. Now, what is the rationale behind bilingual method? Rationale means the reason behind the bilingual method. The reason why bilingual method was found or proposed. See, when the child learns the mother tongue, he forms the concept or grasps the situation, and he learns the mother tongue words simultaneously. So, it is easy to learn a mother tongue, and hence what happened is that the people who proposed this bilingual method, they felt that teaching learning process is easily facilitated if mother tongue equivalents are given to the pupils without duplicating the situation. So they felt that learning English is easily facilitated by giving mother tongue equivalents. And this bilingual method has 3 stages or the 3 P's. What are the 3 P's? The first P is presentation. Second P is practice. Third P is production. Presentation, practice and production. The first stage, that is presentation. Here, the teacher presents the material and makes the learners understand the particular language using mother tongue and target language. So, the teacher uses both mother tongue as well as English language. She or he presents the material and makes the students to understand by using both mother tongue and the English language. So, that is stage 1, that is presentation. In the second stage, that is practice stage, students practice the concept presented only in target language. So, what do the students do in the practice stage? They practice the concept presented by the teacher in only the English language and not in mother tongue. So here the teacher helps the learners when needed. So this is the second stage, practice stage. And the third stage is production stage, where the learners are expected to produce something in English language with their new knowledge. So the students are asked to produce or produce in the sense write or speak in English language from the knowledge that they have gained during the presentation stage and the practice stage. So these are the 3 stages in bilingual method: presentation, practice and production. In presentation stage, the teacher uses bilingual, that is 2 languages, mother tongue and English language. And in the second stage, practice stage, students use only monolingual, that is they use only English language. And in the third stage, they try to produce, that is write or speak English language through the knowledge that is gained in the first 2 stages. Now let's see what are the principles of bilingual language. Here in the bilingual method, the unit of teaching is sentence. So they concentrate on sentence, unlike the grammar translation method. In grammar translation method, every single word is literally translated instead of concentrating on the sentence. But in bilingual method, they take the sentence as a whole, and hence the unit of teaching is a sentence. And only the mother tongue equivalent should be used to give the meaning of sentences and words. It is not a literal translation. Only if there is a mother tongue equivalent, then it is used. Here the learners are given enough sentence practice drills for speaking or writing, that is intensive practice is given, whereas in grammar translation method practice is not at all given, and emphasis is on pronunciation. You saw in grammar translation method that speech is neglected, but here in bilingual method emphasis is given on pronunciation. Mother tongue is withdrawn only when learners achieve sufficient proficiency in communication. So, in the production stage, when the students are effective in producing the English language either through speech or in written format, then the teacher withdraws the usage of mother tongue. Mother tongue is used only at the initial stage and later withdrawn once the students make progress in learning. So the teacher uses this mother tongue only at the initial stages, and later on mother tongue is not at all used when the students have become confident in using the English language. So these are the principles of bilingual method. Now let us see what are the important aspects of a bilingual method. The first aspect is that there is restricted use of mother tongue. How is the restriction there? The restriction is that the teachers alone can use the mother tongue. Hence, restricted use of mother tongue. Mother tongue is not used as translation. You must remember it is only given that mother tongue equivalence only if it is there they can be used. Otherwise, it is not used. So, it is not used as literal translation. Then teacher alone uses the mother tongue and not the learners. You must be very clear here that in bilingual method only the teacher uses the mother tongue and not the learners. So these are the important aspects in bilingual method. Let us see what is the procedure that is to be followed by the teachers when using the bilingual method to teach English language. First, the teacher should read out loud for the learners to listen. So, the teacher has to read the concept loudly for the students. Then, the learners will imitate the teacher by repeating the lines. So, model reading is done by the teacher in a loud way for the students to listen, and once the students listen, the students repeat after the teacher. Now, the teacher gives sentence-wise mother tongue equivalents or interpret the situation. Oral mother tongue stimulus is given by the teacher to evoke target language response from learners. So what is happening? The mother tongue stimulus is given by the teacher so that the students will be able to come out with the English language. Then the teacher helps in the substitution and extension of English sentences. Suppose the students are finding it difficult to continue with the sentence, then the teacher will be there to help the student to continue with the framing of sentences. Then the learners are encouraged to speak without using their mother tongue. As I said, only the teacher uses the mother tongue and not the students, and hence their students are encouraged to speak using only the English language and not the mother tongue. Finally, normal conversation takes place in the target language where the learners converse independently in English. So finally, what is achieved? Target language is achieved wherein which the students converse confidently and independently in English. So this is the procedure that should be followed by the teachers when using the bilingual method in order to bring out the English language of the students. Next, let's see what are the merits of bilingual method. It ensures fluency in speaking, it saves teachers time and labor, and it provides more practice in patterns, and it promotes accuracy in speaking and writing skills. It can also be used anywhere and everywhere by the teacher, and the language habits which are already acquired by the learners while learning the mother tongue are helpful in learning this target language. And even an average teacher who does not know English fluently also can use this method and become successful in bringing out the English language in students. Next is that the major advantage of this method is that it is in the use of the steps and procedures which is meant to reinforce the others. So the students would be able to follow each and every step that is brought out by the teacher. So these are the merits of bilingual method. Now let's see what are the demerits of bilingual method. See, when the teacher is frequently comparing and contrasting two languages, it may create confusion among learners, and also it may degenerate into a translation method if not handled properly. That is, if the teacher is keeping on translating each and every word instead of finding mother tongue equivalents for sentences, then this may become grammar translation method instead of bilingual method. And this bilingual method can be used only in lower classes and should not be used in senior secondary classes. And pronunciation of English by the learners may become defective if the teacher keeps on using mother tongue instead of target language. So these are the demerits of bilingual method. How bilingual method differs from grammar translation method. We saw the two methods, grammar translation method and bilingual method. You must know what is the difference between these two. The bilingual method makes use of the mother tongue in a restricted manner, but grammar translation method does not do so. It differs from grammar translation method in two respects. That is, first, in bilingual method, it is only the teacher who uses the mother tongue to explain meanings and not the pupils. And the second difference is that the pupils are given a lot of practice in the drill of sentence patterns, wherein in grammar translation method, practice is not at all given. Such practice is not provided in the grammar translation method. So these are the differences between bilingual method and grammar translation method. As teachers, when you are going to teach English language to students, how you should select a method. See, a good teacher cannot be a slave of only one method. You cannot say, I will only teach using grammar translation method. I will only teach using bilingual method. No, that is not at all good for a good teacher. Selection of the method should be based on how effective it will be in that particular circumstance. So the teacher must analyze the circumstance in that particular class or a particular situation, and based upon that circumstance, the teacher should select the method. Factors which affects the choice of selection of method are the objectives of teaching English. So the teacher should consider all these factors when selecting the method of teaching English. Objectives of teaching English, the age, ability and class of students, availability of aids, ability and training of the teacher, the size of the class, location of the school, whether the school is located in urban or rural area. So based upon these factors, the method should be selected appropriately to teach English language. So my dear students, there is no one method which can suit all people, all places and all conditions. The onus lies only on the teacher to select which is best according to the needs. So when you are going to teach English language, remember, based upon the factors and the particular circumstance, which method is appropriate to use in that particular situation. Hence, I believe that you have got a clear idea of what a grammar translation method is and what bilingual method of teaching English language is all about. Thank you.